my name is Kim, and welcome to Old School, a podcast from the Old Davie School Historical Museum. March is Women's History Month, and this Friday, March 12th, is actually National Girl Scout Day. This is the cookie time of year, a season that is up there with Christmas, and it's nice to see how the troops are keeping the spirit of the Scouts going through this COVID time. So support those Girl Scouts and get your cookies, and try the new Toastiers. They taste like French toast. I highly recommend. This is not a sponsored ad. This is just my highly qualified cookie lover recommendation. But this also got me thinking about the Girl Scouts in Davie, and I was able to research a little bit about the first Davie troop that formed in 1927. The Girl Scouts of the United States of America was founded by Juliette Gordon Low in 1912 as a youth organization that has grown to almost 2 million members. It's an opportunity for girls to empower themselves and promotes compassion, courage, confidence, character, leadership, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship through activities involving camping, community service, learning first aid, and earning badges by acquiring practical skills. In December 1927, in Davie, 32 girls formed the first troop in the community. This first meeting was held at the Methodist Church, which is now the Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church on 65th Avenue. Mrs. Robbins, who was a Girl Scout captain in Fort Lauderdale, helped and gave the girls instructions in tenderfoot work, which that was like your basics of becoming a Girl Scout. It meant memorizing the Girl Scout motto, the slogan, the laws, and the promise. Miss Alice Shaw and Miss Louise Hendrickson were the first leaders. That January, they held an ice cream and cake social at the Davie School to raise funds for the troop, with talks from Mrs. Robbins on Girl Scouting and from Mrs. Walsh and Frank Sterling as well. Those are names that you might recognize. Mrs. Walsh is of the Walsh House that we have here on our campus, and Frank Sterling is Sterling Road. There were musical performances by Mrs. Shaw on piano, Harry Earle on cornet, and Harold Hill and Anna Elida Griffin on saxophone. And I asked Anna Elida Griffin's granddaughter if she knew that her grandmother played the saxophone, and she did not. But this newspaper said that she could in 1928, and so what a neat thing to find out. The troop made $15 from the event, and that went towards equipment. Then in February, a camping trip was organized with Girl Scouts from around the county at the beach at Lauderdale by the Sea. Here's the newspaper article from the Fort Lauderdale Sentinel from February 12th, 1928. Camp for Girl Scouts is held for 2 days. Activities over Friday and Saturday engage 100 girls. 100 girls and 16 leaders attended the county camp at the beach north of Lauderdale by the Sea Friday night and Saturday. 11 troops were represented. 5 from Fort Lauderdale, 2 from Hollywood, and 1 each from Florinata, Deerfield, Dania, and Davie. The 100 girls and their leaders gathered at the camping place immediately after school Friday afternoon. They were assigned to troops and patrols, each patrol a group of 8 girls having an adult leader. Each troop had a certain place on the beach to build the night fire, around which blanket rolls were unfolded into beds. Each patrol had a spot for supper fire and given a box of provisions. They immediately set to work preparing their supper. The menu consisted of angels on horseback, which I think is a sliced hot dog with cheese inside wrapped in bacon on a bun, or it might be a banana stuffed with marshmallows and chocolate. I found both online. So let me know if you're a Girl Scout which one you made. It sounds like it was the hot dog one. The menu consisted of angels on horseback, tomato and lettuce sandwiches, milk, and ice cream. After supper, each girl was asked to bring a large piece of wood for the big campfire, and when this was lighted, Louise Dollison and Mary Louise Robbins, the 2 farthest advanced scouts present being guardians of the fire, the girls and quite a number of visitors gathered in a great circle around it and sang Girl Scout songs. Then, Chief Willy Willy of the Seminole Indians, his wife Mrs. Willy Willy, and White Eagle were introduced to the girls. Chief Willy Willy told the girls in the Seminole language about the early history of the place where they live, and then he translated his talk into English. Mrs. Willy Willy told many interesting things about the Indians, and White Eagle presented an Indian war dance for the benefit of the audience. Mr. and Mrs. Frank Stranahan were also interesting speakers on the campfire program. Mr. Stranahan was the first white man to settle in this vicinity. He came here when Willy Willy was a boy of about 10 years, and the chief told the girls that when he saw the white man coming, he ran to his father in fear. He had heard of the wars between the Indians and the white men, and he feared that this lone white man had come to make war on the Indians. At the end of the program, everyone present joined hands in a huge circle about the campfire, and taps was sung. The girls rolled up in their blankets for the night, and scarcely a sound was heard throughout the camp until daybreak. Just before the sun rose, Billy Kuykendall, Girl Scout bugler, blew reveille and the girls were soon into action. Colors, or the flag-raising ceremony, was the first activity of the day. The girls in star formation around the flagpole stood in salute while the color guard raised the flag. Then the girls cooked their breakfast in patrols. For breakfast, they had bacon and scrambled eggs, shredded wheat, toast, and cocoa. After the dishes were washed, the girls assembled while Mrs. Robbins told them of the various scouting activities. Following this, the girls attended classes in tenderfoot work, bed making, first aid, and archery. Several girls passed their test for the Handywoman Merit Badge to Mr. Young. Mr. Foster of Pompano conducted the class in archery. By this time, they were ready for dinner, and the menu consisted of kebabs, twists, camp rice, banana surprise, and s'mores. A rest hour followed the noon meal, and then Mrs. O.J. Cordray came out and conducted several enjoyable games for the girls. This was followed by a swim in the ocean, which concluded the day's program. And by the time the girls got their belongings packed up, various cars were there to take them home. It was a happy crowd of girls which left the campsite, all expressing the desire to repeat the occasion again soon. So it sounds like a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind camping on the beach like that today, cooking hot dogs over the fire. In June, a newspaper reported that the Davie Girl Scouts were cleaning the boulevard and planting flowers in front of the church on 65th Avenue. After that, not much comes up in the papers about the troop. I wonder if the 4-H began around this time. I know a lot of people in the community were involved in the agricultural activities in 4-H, so it might have fallen off for a little bit here. But in 1960, a newspaper announced that the first Brownie and Girl Scout troop in the history of the community was formed. So 1960, they're back with 95 girls. The Girl Scouts have remained active in Davie since then. I myself was a Daisy, Brownie, and Junior way back in the 90s here in Davie, and it was a lot of fun. Troop 734, and I still have my camping dunk bag, I'm pretty sure, somewhere. It's a wonderful way to start contributing to the community when you're young. And so if you're a scout and you're looking for projects or activities to meet different badge requirements, please let me know. We've had sleepovers, day programs, and all kinds of service projects here for Girl and Boy Scout groups. So you can email me at education@olddavieschool.org. So happy belated International Women's Day to you all. Happy Women's History Month. And I'm going to leave you with a quote from Juliette Gordon Low. "The work of today is the history of tomorrow, and we are its makers. So go make history." Until next time, take care of each other. Bye.